We are live. We did it.
We're live?
We're live.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Okay. Welcome. This is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition.
Woo.
We're playing Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. And I'm your Dungeon Master, Mark.
Oh.
And these are our beautiful players.
Oh, shucks.
We will quickly allow them to reintroduce themselves and their characters. We will start with Crystal.
Oh, god damn it. Hi, I'm Crystal. I play Adra Loomis, our Wood Elf Ranger. God, I think that's all. Popcorn Jess.
I am Jezebel Rockette. You're 19-year-old, kind of useful druid. Watch me wild chip. Foo-foo.
Wait, who are you?
I am Jess.
Oh, good.
I already got my introduction.
I did say Popcorn Jess.
Tag her it.
Hi, I'm Lauren. My last name changed last weekend.
Yay!
Yay!
I play the gnome monk. Y'all knew I am. This is Martha. I'm gonna pass it to my hubby.
Hey.
Hey.
We just got married if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, also, let's give it up for her. Yes.
Nice job.
I'm Ben, by the way.
I missed the beard, though.
It'll grow back. I play Kolgun Usan, who does have a beard. Much better one than what I have right now. He's our Hildorf Paladin. And, yeah.
Hello, I'm Evan. I play Blanche, Minotaur, fighter, and sailor. Yeah, getting ready to get back on a boat, I think.
I think we've been on a boat.
Heckin' yeah.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
I'll pass to our last player.
Hi there. Name's James. I play Jet, your friendly local lunar sorcerer.
I feel like you're gonna
And
talk to me
we're
about
on our
drugs.
way now to try to get back to where our second home is. Back to you,
Got
Mark.
deep.
Oh, hey, thanks, guys.
That got real serious real
That
quick.
that?
really
That was
got
great.
serious.
No problem.
It's like a really weird
I'm not
I
doing
like
any
who's gonna
drugs,
sell
man.
me like insurance.
I know, right?
Now
Okay.
your message from these sponsors.
Now word from our sponsor.
So we did take a week off last week for
Oh yeah.
nuptial reasons, and but we're back.
Sorry, not sorry. Congrats.
Married and all that stuff.
God,
These
youngsters
lovely
these
people
days.
just
Holy
got
match.
married. It's okay.
We got plus to our AC now, right?
No, see, this is how it
No,
goes.
she
When one
got
person
plus-
draws a card on their turn, you draw a card and they gain life, you gain life. See,
Or
that's
you just
how
split
goes.
it.
Right.
No,
Okay.
she gets +2 armor because she can just like throw you in a hole.
So we
See how it is.
last time we were here, our players did some things. Most of those things involved escaping from the city of lost names, which is
Less of it.
it's not in great shape.
It's sure lost now.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. But of course, there is a horrifying flying citadel with some
A lot of them did
Her
it.
bad legs.
some bad things happening around it. Some Lord Soth things, some undead or bony dragon things, some
They have a sweet
Picking
soundtrack.
up
sure,
Dragon.
yeah.
Our
Yeah.
soldiers, if I remember correctly.
Track because it just flies
Yeah.
over the.
I mean, it's like Mad Max
It's
level.
a weapon of mass destruction heading
Yeah.
towards.
They're flying
Absolutely.
fortress.
It's like if
Flying
Rush
fortress.
had a sinister side. That's what it would be. So, anyway, and our heroes are trying to make their way back to Kalaman to warn the city and hopefully give them a chance if this thing in fact is headed that way. So we made some of the journey. Our heroes saw kind of kind of oddly
Yeah,
enough,
we stopped with a bronze dragon.
yeah, there was a different,
Yeah, I don't want to say.
a similar but different Dragonelle being chased
No, I
by
did say it right.
some Dragon Army officers on
Okay.
their own Dragonelles,
I'm
presumably
surprised
trying to
didn't
catch it
stick,
and add it to their
Jess
team.
And,
And
just well.
our heroes decided that that was
uh,
something worth
as his
getting
mom.
involved with. So
I just
Can I ask?
I chased it.
you sure can.
They haven't been
No,
like
I'm at the bronze one.
sentient
Is
in
that the
terms
bronze
of being
armor?
able to communicate with us.
Mine
Like
was
they don't,
common.
they're not like dragons that they speak in common, right? The Dragonelles.
Yeah, you've never heard a Dragonelle speak, but like based on what you've seen, you're pretty confident that they can understand common. So
Considering that they have
just
lawyers.
based on what you've seen. And none of you know how to speak Draconic, but you're pretty sure that they also can do that. So okay. So where we left off last time was where the group was.
We were just getting it out of the nets, right?
Yeah, we just
Yeah, you
saved
just
that bronze
freed it.
Dragonelle.
Yeah, you got it out. It
And it stared into Kogan's
got
eyes
locked
for a minute
eyes
and
with
then
Kogan, and then was like,
We had our moment, and then
yeah, had an intimate
we
moment.
went our separate ways.
so
One that will last forever.
Hey, Kogan, do you have a +2 to AC now?
Alas, I need platinum rings for that one.
so I mean, you know, unless the group has specific things that they would like to do at the moment, then you can continue on your way to the shore to get on a ship.
Well, I think
So we're camping right now.
No, you let the Dragonelle go, and then whatever you want to do.
we can probably spend the rest of our daylight hours moving towards the ships.
Yeah, you'll have one more rest, and then you'll be there fairly early the next day.
Alright. Well, we'll move until we need to set up camp.
Okay.
Unless somebody else has something they want to do here.
All right. Yeah, the rest of your day. I mean, again, you have Clystron helping to speed along your journey here. So as long as everybody is just kind of following him, he's beep boop, beep beep, and yeah, you can make your camp. Anybody else have anything they specifically want to do? Otherwise, we will. So you can get your long rest and whatever recoveries you need to do, and
Nap time.
Blanche,
In.
another round of sparring.
Sure. Aye.
Guess what? We're kind of sparring, getting a feel, the weapon.
okay.
Blanche, how do you feel about all this
Crack.
gods coming around?
It seems more up your alley, to be honest. I haven't heard. I mean, I've not been as devoted to Sargas as you are to Riorix, but I like to think he washes over me and that he'll carry off my soul when I fall in battle.
I don't know as much about Sarga. What can you tell me about him?
He's not much for the mercy and creation. He's a god of slaughter, to be honest. Victory by strength is Sargas's. It's under his command. It is what he grants to Minotaurs, and we consider ourselves his chosen people.
Notice you've been pretty handy with it. Is it pike you have?
Aye, Pike.
I don't think in the time we have left for when we face off against our next big bad, that I'll be able to master this as well as you have.
You shouldn't say that. You've been getting better each day. But
True, but I realize we don't have as much time as we probably want. At least for me to get as good as you are.
I won't waste your time with false modesty.
Fair enough.
You're gonna die. We're gonna be happy about it.
Would you take up in part my oath of vengeance? To take this weapon and bring slaughter to our enemies?
It's an interesting theory, Kogan. I know that this is a weapon for certain, but from what the voice, whether it's Paladin or no, it told us this is a weapon to be used to fight against evil, to be used for good. And I'm not sure I am as worthy as you are to do that part of it.
I think
If you'd like to make if either of you would like to make a religion check to aid your understanding of this, you can.
sure.
Natural 20.
So you, as
Blanche
you're
becomes
you're
very
going
religious.
through this, like, you know, I don't know what your motivations are, but if you genuinely are concerned about the religious implications of this weapon, it will not be an issue so long as your goals are to use it to defeat the Dragon Queen.
Like it is. It's
What did you roll?
16.
You would know the same thing. I mean, when you're kind of calling back to when Paladin spoke to you and recalling some of the, you know, the things that were said, and you're, you know, any little bit that you might have known about it before, like, it all kind of fits together. So if somebody who was not as devoted to their god was wielding it, it wouldn't matter so long as the motivation was still to defeat the evil dragon, you know, Takesis and the evil dragons.
We have traveled long together.
We have.
We know the enemy. I've seen firsthand your skill. I truly believe it could do
sorry.
it could do more good in your hands.
I don't think I'm the right person, Kogan. I want to take down the dragon army as much as you do, but I'm afraid it wasn't always like that. And I look around to make sure the rest of the camp is asleep. And I say, I knew what was coming for Vogler, and I didn't stop it.
Knew how?
Dramatic music.
Nobody's rolling, so it's fine.
And we go to commercial break.
After these messages from
Yeah.
our sponsors.
Kogan,
Koga believes in you and just wham, betrayal.
I'm an old sailor. I have a lot of contacts across the seas, and I got a message from, I thought it was from a few old mercenary comrades of mine, Red-headed Cuthbert and Jose the Unrepentant. They said they wanted information. They were planning some sort of raid or attack in the area. I figured if they came for Vogler, Lady Becklin would give him the old 1-2 and that'd be the end of it. Or if they were going for Kalaman, what did I care? It didn't feel like something dangerous until it was too late. And when the army turned on us, when the iron nails,
Oh,
The name of the mercenary group.
Yeah.
when they turned on us on the field, I knew I could have warned people. I should have known better.
At the time, you did not know they were of the Dragon Queen. There was no inkling of that. You had no clue the scale of it. Just
But
some-
I let these old friends of mine. I put my own greed. I was considering selling secrets to them about the tides, about the waters. I am not
Oh my God,
the
that
good
spell's not
person who
awake.
should be wielding this lance.
Coleman's gonna take a minute to kind of take this in.
I've been thinking of ways to make up for this, to fix it, and well, I made contact with a spy in Kalaman. I've been trying to decide something good enough that I could use to either fool them, continue my role as a seller of information, but we've been gone for so long. I was thinking we could set some sort of trap, but it hasn't come to pass yet. If you have any suggestions, I know that more treachery would probably lead us into a darker place, but it could also be a powerful asset. I know that well.
The tool does what the wielder wants it to. You have been tempted. You said so yourself, to sell info to the enemy, but you have not.
I
You
have.
Well, wait, what?
I mean,
I also thought about it. Like, since the
Kogan's brain.
Vogler, you haven't, right?
I sold them information that I didn't think was important. I was thinking I'd get them on our, trusting me, paying attention. I told this Kender about Lord Soth, and he didn't believe me at first, but, well,
But in our travels together, you have been fighting them. You have put yourself on the line.
I'm as dedicated to their defeat as you are. I thought I could do it a different way.
I think with your skill, it would be a great asset in countering the foe. But if you feel like you do not want this power, your skill speaks for itself. You could do
It's not
great good,
that,
like
but
I
I
said.
doubt.
You still fear you might turn over to the enemy in a moment of weakness?
It's not that I fear. It's... I don't know. What if something I did or something I could have done, if we had stopped them at Vogler, what if it's my fault? Blanche is going to take a step back and, have a seat on the ground. And I don't know, Kogan. I might need more time. And if you have any of your famous spiritual guidance, I'd be willing to listen.
Kogan is not much of a preacher.
He's more of a smacky person.
I followed lyrics because it was a connection to my cultural past, to my parents. I did not expect him to show himself to me in any direct way. But he came calling and I answered. There's people who need protecting and things that needed to get done. I've been doing my best to do them. Perhaps you can use this moment the same way. A call for you to atone for what you feel you have done wrong. This is a powerful tool. And in your hands, it can do powerful things. I'll let you think on that. There'll be other times ahead for you to take it up if you feel like you are worthy of it.
I don't know what the people of Hogler would say if they knew what I'd done. I'm gonna stand up and go sit by the fire.
Before you do that,
Yes.
roll your perception.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh.
not bad. 24.
At about that moment, you notice that Klystron is. He has just woken up enough to, like, go relieve himself. You don't. I mean, he's not giving you any indication that he heard any of this conversation.
Well, Kogan, you must be getting to sleep. I start sharpening my hand axe very quickly.
Do I notice that?
You can. I mean, yeah, you can roll your perception to see if you notice.
Oh, okay.
Insight to
I
see
would
if
be
I
able-
notice the change.
I would
in-
actually be able to use the Dragonlance.
All right, that's gonna be a 20, dirty 20.
Would it, for your perception or what?
I'm trying to insight him to figure out this,
Insight.
if I notice a sudden change.
Oh,
in
him?
demeanor. If he's
You're
gone
trying to
from-
insight Klystron?
No,
Blanche?
Blanche. See if I
Blanche.
noticed the change in attitude from
She-
resignation
she's not,
to.
She's not
Oh,
literally
I need to
sharpening
silence
it.
someone.
She's not literally
No,
doing
that
that.
was
that was a joke.
Okay.
Wasn't sure.
I mean, a 20 would probably give you. She's keeping a suspicious eye on him for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you guys are awake, then he just, walks a little way outside of the core of the camp, to the wherever you have your little pea stick set up, and then he goes to that, and then he kind of comes back and lays back down. He doesn't give you any indication that he's been listening or
He's like
that he even heard
groggily
anything.
probably walking around.
So.
I'll give you a pat in the back as I walk by to my own
I have to
tent or
reach up a
whatever.
bit higher these days.
I thought you sat down. But okay.
Taller from the admit from shaking the weight of your guilt.
Well, maybe.
Your clothes still fit?
I honestly, I think so.
Yeah,
I
let's
hope
just
so.
say they do. It's probably a little more than we need to deal with right now.
It'd just be like the pant legs are too short.
They're
now.
just capris now. So, okay.
Blanche made a fashion statement.
Anything else we would like to do while we're in camp? That was good. It was very informative.
Yeah, little lore for Blanche.
So I think what I
have
will
to
do,
write down those names.
I think,
And all the while, I don't know that there's an invisible figure just listening.
I think I will, I mean, I don't want to steamroll past any opportunity that either of you would choose to have to share or not share with anyone else. That's up to you guys, but
Can I just ask a question?
sure.
I realized I
Where
didn't
we're
use the
camping at
lance.
this point, have we traveled far enough beyond where we
I'm
can see this?
proficient
Like, we
with
can't see the
martial
citadel anymore, right? Or are we at a place?
No, I mean, you can't. You can't see it.
Okay.
It's I mean, I don't know what I'd have to go back and look to see what the exact distances are, but I mean, you're miles away from this.
Hexes away.
Yeah. So.
So many hexes. So that
I mean, you could
hide.
still probably see this thing even from, 5 miles away, let's say.
The coruscating violet flames of the apocalypse.
But
The cataclysm beckons from
It's
beyond
the
the
last
horizon. The purple
Halloween
glow
party.
but
lights
you would need to be at a really good vantage point for that. Anyway.
Never mind then.
Okay. So yeah, unless anybody else has a thing that they want to do, you'll wake up, you'll make your way to the ships. If there's conversation to be had in that time, feel free to have it. If you don't want to, then you don't have to.
So what happened to the dragon ale that we kind of rescued?
Flew off.
Flew off.
Flew off? Or
It,
I
it,
don't remember.
it locked eyes with Kogan and then it flew off.
We did an
GTFO.
intense staring contest for a little while.
For like,
I mean, the only other
Wanted to
thing
remember.
really that came out of that was Klystron was able to be like, oh yeah, you know, these are ones that are out here.
These are
They're a
not
thing.
common, but they're
No, they
they're
just-
real.
They
Well,
don't
he
come
tells
as-
you that he goes to where he sometimes will go to this. There's a spot where they congregate, and he'll feed them. He doesn't do it all the time, but he does sometimes.
Once this
Speaking
is
of
done
feeding
and over with,
themselves.
I would like to go and help them feed them once.
I'm gonna feed myself real quick.
Nice.
Feed the DM.
That got deep. Nice.
Hopefully Blanche feels just a little tiny bit better after taking a nap.
She's got some reflection to do.
Does it? Good.
Good.
All right.
All right. Anything else? We're just gonna make it to the thing.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. So yeah. You get back to this cove where you were before, or where you've been one time before. As you get close to it, you can see the ship. There's actually a couple ships already there,
One for each of us.
and then as you kind of make your way, you can kind of see like the rest of the ships that you came with are around. And the kind of the landing spot where they're at is there's a small camp of Kalaman soldiers there. And this is not a character that we've talked about before, but there's a character by the name, a human man by the name of Haldry Lettuce, not lettuce, Leddis.
Oh, let
So
us
he's not a
praise.
snack.
Does that name sound familiar to you? Okay. He just recognizes the group, and
Lettuce, it's time for us to leave.
Oh, let us go.
That sounds oddly
Familiar?
Vogler? Question mark?
so
I feel like
Come across someone with the last name Lettuce before.
you guys can kind of
What? You don't know his
Finish your
brothers in
dressing
arms
and let's
making
get
a
out of
tomato?
here.
Nah, it's bread.
you guys can kind of fill
Sounds
him
like
in.
a family name for clerics. Because lettuce bread.
He's gonna have a ship ready for you guys here just in a matter of less than an hour.
So he's kind of like the commander of the small force that's
Row,
here,
row, row your boat.
if you will.
This group doesn't really have a commander. The commanders are all kind of with he's just sort of like the spokesperson, if you will, for the group that's here, guarding
He's
the
the
ships.
one who
Good job,
they
Lettuce. You got a
just
good
shove
head on
in
your
front of
shoulders.
people.
That was good. Mark's upset.
Blanche definitely just has a +1 puns or whatever. Yeah. Throwing
Inspiration.
inspiration in here. Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
I was like, I felt inspired.
Yeah.
And there was
Okay.
3 characters I was playing for.
So yeah, unless anybody's doing anything, him and they get a ship ready and they get the.
Are we ready to set sail?
Calm down there, Blanche.
We get that you're hungry, but
So yeah, it'll just
we don't have any bacon bits
That's-
here.
Let's leave the commander alone.
so
What commander?
Klystron, kind of, as you guys are getting ready to take off, you are among maybe the greatest heroes I've ever known, and I bid you whatever good fortune I can on this trip that you must make now, and I'm gonna go back to Hearts Hollow, and if I can find some way to aid you, I will do so, but this is where we must part.
Ellie's just gonna go over and give him a hug.
Yeah, he hugs back.
Keep your people safe, Klystron.
Well,
It's dangerous times.
we will certainly do it. I don't know how quickly they can move that fortress, but I don't know that I would. I think I would err on the side of that they can move more quickly than you think.
Probably faster than an army can march.
Kind of hard to tell, but hopefully the winds are against them.
Let's pray to the wind god.
So he bids his farewells and he heads back off. And
Is the boat named Africa?
so you have your boat and you have it's not a huge boat. It's probably the smallest one, but Haldry is telling you that it's the small crew that's on there will get you back to Kalaman as fast as possible. So
You didn't give us any green recruits?
you already have inspiration.
He's just trying to squeeze out one more. Can you blame him?
No. Okay. So you guys can get on the boat, and once you get out on the water a little bit, Blanche I think probably notices it right away. Like you've got surprisingly favorable winds at this particular
Who
moment.
framed the wind god?
I'm sorry.
Now keep it up.
Whatever you did for
And
Cyprus,
once you-
go.
Once you start to
The elven wind god.
get your bearings a little bit
Pull a
and
lot of hot air.
talk with whoever's kind of piloting
No,
the
that's
boat,
Delamar.
you realize like if this keeps up, you'll be in Kalaman at this time tomorrow.
I just have the wind speed.
So
Oh god.
you have a day on the water. If there's anything that you'd like to do, you may do so.
Another session of sparring, and if you're willing, Blanche.
Watching.
Not
If you'll not take it, then I must improve my proficiency with it.
Well, in that case, I think you might need another subject to spar with. Not just Blanche, but more. Or maybe to better understand how to fight a lance, you must fight a lance.
What are you saying, Jet? Are you going to join us?
What?
Well, then come and join us, Jet. Just test your mettle.
About to say, if I
But
can
if you
borrow
don't
a bike,
mind,
I
may
can
I
learn how to
borrow
do
the weapon for just this spar?
I get the sense you're gonna try something here. Mind filling us in, or is it staying a surprise?
His paladin
As
senses
I
are
gave you
tingling.
the thought, why not learn how to fight with a lance by fighting a lance?
All right, let's. I hold the lance out, keep an eye.
And I will cast
fancy
animate
shit,
object
yeah.
on it.
You're doing some fancy
Does that
bullshit
work
right
on
now.
magical weapons?
Well,
That's a good question. Let me double check that.
It's just sort of like starts mopping the deck.
I felt like we discussed this before. Like
Yes.
it can't do.
You can animate my lance and have Kogan fight against it.
Yeah, he's got like a pike and can do that. But
Yeah, I was
I was
kind of
about-
hoping
I
for something
know.
cool here.
Says Mark, will he allow it?
I thought you were like.
You allow it?
I
I'm
thought
gonna,
you
I'm
took
gonna
like
need
a
you to read me the spell.
level of fighter or something
Nice
like that.
thing.
It's like-
I'm able to
Oh,
use
it has to be
martial weapons.
non-magical object.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Damn it! I was
Well,
really
damn,
hoping for something
Kogan.
like that.
For a sec there, I
Kill.
thought you took a level in like fighter or paladin or something like
That
that.
would be cool. No.
Or like you're gonna
Cast, like,
show up with some-
transformation on yourself. Get huge.
Do you have a lance, bro?
No, but I mean, I do.
Well,
You can still join us for our sparring, but
Yeah, I might turn a little animalistic, but that might be okay.
uh,
Or maybe I'll just see if I can help you guys improve your resistances.
I'm sorry, my what?
No, I'm just kidding.
I can help with sparring too.
shield
I,
comes up. Fire has no effect.
I can
Or no.
I can use
dominate
martial
person.
weapons, so I can either use a lance or a
Drop
pike
your
as
weapons.
well.
I don't know if that worked too well on me.
Ellie will be wine judge on this, I guess.
So, I mean, this is
I
not
did like a
like
+8.
this particular ship is not like a galley. Like this
Yeah,
is
it's-
not.
it's not
Close,
real-
close quarters.
This is a
combat.
smaller
Yep.
ship than that. So,
If there's a
Yeah.
spot
I'll
somewhere.
join them in the sparring.
I honestly
You can learn how to
thought
use
I
a pike
could, and I
or
thought it'd be kind of cool to be honest.
stuff
You could do
better
it
just in
to my
case.
hammer, I guess. That's not magical, but
I thought it was.
No,
No, it's
his
silver.
hammer is not. It's just silver.
silver coating.
Oh well.
But yes, feel free to join us.
Bring it.
Fine, I guess it won't be the same thing that I was hoping to do, but
so I mean, yeah. I mean, unless there's something else, you guys can do a little sparring on the boat.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
This
you're
is going
just.
to disrupt a spellcaster at reach.
Just, I
Grab a
mean,
shield.
one shield.
this is
Dodge.
a fantastically different feeling than what you've
Pace
been
myself.
dealing with. I mean, you guys have
Ready
been
for
in the
dodge.
wastes for a while now,
Peace.
and being back out on the water is
I
like.
can twin ace now.
I mean, it's oddly refreshing in a moment of, you know, there's a lot on the line, and you've been through a lot, and somehow this is just like, you know, it feels a little like a reprieve, and a little like, you know, the urgency doesn't go away. And there's some fortune that you feel in having the winds be pushing you the way they are, and
Go back to
it's.
where
I
you
mean, for
came
anybody that
from.
has familiarity with the waters, it's, you know, it's a break going your way, and it is a little bit inspiring to feel that in that moment.
I wonder if I
I'll
can
hold
help
a
make
prayer
the shield move
session
faster.
just before everyone goes to sleep.
So,
Maya.
Thanks for forging us this wind.
I don't know if it was
Praise
Rearix who
be.
did the winning. We'll take it from wherever God sent it our way.
So yeah, I mean, you guys the next day in the morning, you come upon the port in the bay, and you're able to act and get into the city. I mean, are here, you know, everything seems basically as you left. The only thing that's a little different is, you know, you are noticing a greater presence of like just armed and armored individuals running around than you were before, and you know, you
That does not
I mean,
sound right then.
you just you can barely help but overhear little conversations, and it's relatively evident that
Throwing Yorks at everyone. You have
the
to
dragon army has
throw it at Mark.
the dragon army has kind of begun to occupy more area around here, and you know, the city is needing to like kind of, I mean, there's been some back and forth, we'll call it, that has occurred.
Are you rationing yet, or are
Oh,
we,
Oh
thank
my
you.
god.
are we getting ship deliveries still?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the port looks very similar. Like it's not like packed with ships that can't leave. There's no blockade. There's nothing like that. So, you know, and in your communications, like you kind of know that your main thing here is to go talk to the marshal. So is that what we want to do? Or do we have some other goal before we go do that?
I think this message needs to get to the marshal as soon as possible. Let's make direct
Let's beeline.
beeline to the marshal.
Okay.
Does beelining
turn
take
to a
us
bee?
past your parents' house?
Probably take it pretty close. If we're coming in on the docks, they have a house.
What,
Their
do they
shop
have
wouldn't be
multiple
too far
houses?
away. Well, no, they do they do
I know.
woodwork for the
It's just-
ships, so there's a good chance that we dock somewhere nearish them.
We're taking their bets right now. What do you think?
If you want to go and say hello to Martha,
I think Martha
she's
should
all
be
that.
too big
You're
to
welcome
do
to,
anything.
She's gonna be roly-poly.
I think we can make a visit after we've delivered our message to the marshal and figured our next
Her
steps.
armor's not gonna fit.
There will be time, I think, for
I would not.
picking up Martha.
Cook meal after we see the marshal.
Oh, I'm sure
But
she'll
that
have
meatloaf
something
is
ready.
top notch.
I want to
Adra, this
go
is
in
Mom's
to visit your
cooking.
parents after this, but I also want to go check up on the bogglers.
Yep.
Be reasonable,
The
Kogan.
bottlers.
It's just the fate of the city. Surely we can pick up Martha first.
No, it's okay. Let's go to the marshal first.
First thing after the marshal.
Okay.
Beeline it to my home.
To Martha.
So, I mean, you go back to Castle Kalaman, and one of the aides,
What was that?
one of the aides to the mark. I mean, you recognize, but don't remember the name.
Do that.
Meets you and says, "Well, I'm sure you'll be wanting to speak to the marshal. Vendry is currently in a meeting with the city's elected governor, Governor Thren.
Oh, thank God.
Still happy, smiling.
He got
That I will
Maybe
notify
that's
her of your
something less.
presence."
I mean,
So,
he's a politician.
so after a few minutes, the aide comes back and says, "She's ready to see you. She's eager." And so
Let's not waste another second.
the
We're in danger.
so you get led into this council chamber that you've been in for various reasons before.
And I believe the last time we were here it was coated in bodies. Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say it was a little
They
more
did a
bloody
great
last
job
time.
cleaning
Okay. This
Oh, they missed the spot.
This familiar conference hall and its large round table have seen significant repairs since last you were here. Marshal Vendry and Lord Baccarus sit at the table, along with various bickering strangers who wear the colors of Kalaman guilds. Opposite the door, a woman in simple clothes sits in the governor's chair, watching the proceedings with uncertainty. Marshal Vendry sees you and stands. And there's some surprise on her face because
There's a lot.
she didn't.
Oh,
she
they
didn't
got
quite-
me back.
she couldn't quite believe that you had made it back. And so Vendry,
Never doubt us.
Vendry, as she has her moment of just profound, overwhelmed, just being a little overcome to see you guys, says, she calls for silence and welcomes you. Please, the heroes have returned.
Dun, 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 dun.
And strut.
Please, what news can you bring us?
Why is the redhead in bronze armor?
News from the wastes, Marshal.
And she's trying to, like, just to clarify, she's trying to get a military-ish probably report from you guys. She's not really interested in having you address this whole gaggle of people. I mean,
She's
even just
tired
walking,
of the gaggle of people.
even just walking into the room, it's like, you know, these people probably, I mean, can't really handle it.
Well, then I'll
And so then, about that time that she's saying that, Baccarus
Oh, God.
chimes in. Well, I think we should all hear what you have to say about what's going on. And
It's the first good thing he said.
and this woman who I think you're sort of taking to be this new governor. She's a little skeptical of all the goings on in here, and she kind of side eyes Baccarus a little, and is like, create some space.
Now for your movie entertainment.
Mention
Illusionary terrain.
it's mad.
So anyway, and they all are kind of like, now this side chatter has all.
Old flying city before the cataclysm.
I shall show an image of it prior.
And I mean, she just is
Yep,
kind of like, carry on.
I'll take her through the discovering the army at the
on the boat.
canyon there. The attack the Kalaman army did to buy us the distraction we needed to get in.
The stupid elven people of mine.
Regale her of the. We made a promise not to really reveal Elf Lady, and I
No,
guess we
not
don't need
elf lady.
So
but
as you're telling the story about,
my
yeah, like-
people.
making it into the city, restoring the Dragonlance, making it into the.
so as you're telling, like when you get to the part about how you needed the soldiers to help you to get into the city, then Baccarus chimes in and he's like, so you sacrificed the soldiers protecting this city?
I'm not even
still
going
alive.
to acknowledge his presence.
Oh, it was.
I'm not even
Backers.
going to acknowledge his question. Mm-hmm.
Nope, not yet.
Continue.
And the marshal kind of doesn't like fight back against his question, but just is like, continue. And
They, as far as we know, they took losses, but nowhere near as many as could have happened if a flying city had dropped an army on Kalaman.
So you were able to successfully stop this flying city.
Yes. We suspected, if you don't mind, Kogan, that Lord Soth and the Dragon Army were at odds with each other, and it was only when we arrived we found they may have been working in alignment to find and restore this place. It was Lord Soth who was able to get part of the city flying. He's got a sort of fiery temple.
Cataclysmic flame.
He has a part of the city successfully flying.
A citadel worth of land.
How?
We-
So like everybody kind of hears this and they're just like, oh.
I will pretty
we-
much like make an allusion to show like this is what I am talking.
We damaged the helm in our battle with the Herald of the Dragon Queen. We slew the Herald.
a
There-
dragon, by the way.
Blue.
When the commander of the Red Dragon Army.
Beckeris kind of laughs at that. He's like, a dragon. I mean, it's sort of clearly discredit some of the
Let's
things that
lighten
you
the
guys
mood
are
a
saying.
bit.
Gonna
I mean,
step
I mean, I
around
wish Lord
and
Brackers went
show
with us.
off
We
some
could have just sacrificed him to the
sweet
blue dragon.
armor.
I'm paying no attention. I'm staring straight at the marshal, given this info.
Yeah.
Just ignoring him.
In our fight with him, we damaged the helm. The city tore itself asunder, except for a portion of the city that Lord Soth had laid claim to. There's a temple to the Dragon Queen that he had taken up, I guess, residence in, for lack of a better term. It is now consumed in the flames of the cataclysm, and it seems to still be flying.
How many of this weapon do they have?
Just one.
That is the only piece of the city, I think, that managed to survive the destruction of the helm. The rest
So
was
they could not make more of them?
no. This was an old bit of technology from before the cataclysm. They barely got it to raise up.
And while we were pretty much
How did they get it to raise up if they can't get any other part of it to raise up? How did they get that to raise up?
I think it's the fire.
I think it's
it's
probably
the
the cataclysm.
the fire
I'd
for
assume
that
it
part,
has
but
something
it's
to-
supposed to be using the bodies or the magic of the
And by the way, like
Souls
souls
of
of
the
the
dragon.
dragons.
Marshal Vendry is mostly just listening to this report. Like, a lot of these questions are coming from either Governor Thren or like a random council member. Like, Vendry is mostly just listening to the report, and she's if they're not asking you something tactical, then she chimes in to ask something tactical.
But yes, a fair portion of the Dragon Army was caught up in the collapsing city. Those that survived regrouped and appeared to be boarding the temple
Using
that Lord
dragon
Soth is in
elves.
control
Yep.
of.
Well, where are they taking the citadel?
Based off of intelligence we recovered from the city before it collapsed in on itself, they were scrying on Kalaman. It seems they had their sights fixed upon this city.
So like at that, then there's murmurs and like kind of almost gasps in the room of concern.
It only
I mean, you're not getting that from Beckeris. Beckeris is like he's flipping between offering criticisms or questioning of what you guys are saying, but then when he's not doing that, it's almost like he's like pondering all of it.
Actually,
Ponder
being
all
the
you
Lord.
want.
Sorry.
Well, can it be destroyed? Do we know if it can be destroyed?
I do not know. We managed to recover the crown of the helm that controlled the main city. I do not know if it can be used to help interfere with that bit of the city that yet flies or not.
And so then
Didn't someone make a check on that to find out, and You
I
have to
attuned
have
to
the
it
chew.
already.
Yeah, you had to attune to it, but you had to be sitting in the
I
chair
have
for
to be
it.
sitting in the actual.
Jet, you're a scholar though. I mean, your illusions have been helpful, but you're quiet. Is there a way to turn off this fire? I mean, something must have put out the flames of the first cataclysm, right?
I have not been able to find a piece of history being able to douse out the cataclysm.
I mean, the existence of cataclysmic fire was a little bit unexpected. So you know, like again, as these questions are being asked, and as you guys are able to, for the most part, either because even the answers you have are very partial. You know, like you don't have all of the information. You know, the various council members, you can tell, are like, their whole tone has switched now. Instead of this, you know, kind of back and forth and whatever was happening before, now they're like way more concerned, sort of, you know, looks and whispers back and forth. And then the governor says, well, and is less addressing you and more just addressing Vendry and the council, is like, well, how, like, puzzled, how can Kalaman stand against a fortress that soars over our defenses? And I mean, nobody has an answer to that, and least of all the marshal. The marshal doesn't have an answer to that. So, you know, as that question gets asked, like, you know, some of that concern and all that stuff, like, stops, and it switches to, like, silence and almost like a stunned almost fear now that they're thinking about the implications of this, sort of a silence. And then after a few moments of that, like the first person kind of whispers something to whoever's sitting next to them, and they're kind of like, you know, it's not outright panic because they know better than that, but you don't need to be a genius to know that they're supremely concerned about this now.
If we sacrifice the citizens, we could probably all escape on the first boat.
Not if all the boats have holes.
But then we can't escape either.
I don't know how we know
Blanche.
such an aerial fortress like that.
Blanche would probably do that, honestly.
But
So, I mean, Vendry says, I mean, we'll need to work on whatever we can to come up with a way to do this, but we've maintained your quarters in the castle should you choose to use them. You know, we're dealing with the presence of the dragon army near the city, and I've already spent too much time in this chamber for this day. Unless you have further questions for me, I will send for you when I have need again. But until we know if that citadel truly is coming for this, all of our time will be spent in preparation, if there is such a thing to be done. Then I'll find you wherever you are in the city, or my aides will.
I'm at your disposal. Whatever aid I can provide.
You've done so much for the city already. There's no way for the city to pay back that debt.
How many weeks were we out there?
I did
A
not
few.
want. I did not want to be the person to ask that question.
Yeah, a few in total.
Like 3-ish?
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
4?
between the travel there, the moving around and stuff, I mean, it's probably close to 3 weeks.
Because we were kind of zigzagging around for the first part of the journey, but we basically beelined it back
Yeah.
in less than a week on the
Yeah.
return journey.
Yeah, it was slow going in the beginning, and then
So
it improved over
So I'm
time.
going to say like 3-ish,
we
3.5
have
weeks.
one more stop to make for us people with the badge.
Well, yeah, I'm totally okay if we just go back and get Martha and hang out with
Oh,
the
yeah.
family for a little bit.
I just,
We need to get paid.
yeah.
Yes.
That's,
Well,
And I
that's
mean-
end of the month pay sort of thing.
No, I think you get
Once a
paid.
week. You guys get paid
Once a
weekly.
week. Oh, weekly.
got
Oh,
money.
okay, yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta collect our payment.
Not,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
us, but y'all
I
got
mean,
money.
I don't know what your party resources look like. You guys should have
I have a lot of money.
quite a bit of stuff that you can either.
Treasure, yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of money.
I have
Yeah,
a
if you
certain
guys
crown.
if you guys go back to your quarters, like, you know, you find an aid that is kind of, it's like they're just kind of leaving from there, and then if you look around, like, you know, there's a pouch with like 50 steel for all of you.
How much?
50.
50 a piece or 50
Yeah, for each of
I'm
you.
not getting paid though.
Yeah.
I'm not on
that's
the
the
payroll.
Oh, it's there for you too.
Money.
I don't take it.
I mean, the aid sort of is like,
But this is your money, and you're like,
the aid is like, it's
Go
the,
buy
ci- the
yourself
city
something
the city
nice.
the city need, you know, the city understands that you may need some resources. This is what we have right now.
Go buy yourself something nice with it.
So the aid takes it and then like does not affix this pouch to their person and like kind of carries it away.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
If I'm not getting paid by Kalaman, nothing I do is technically treason.
Hey, wait, what?
That is a very, very good point.
You know.
And Jezebel's
yeah.
like, ooh, bag of money.
Ooh, Granny.
we have to stop my granny's.
I know.
We
Yeah.
have so many things.
I have
to
so
give
much
to
stuff,
her.
and I got Skittles and my cactus.
Taste the rainbow.
Gogon is in
That's such the
tending to
Pokey.
hand.
You
I was gonna say, I
can go
named the
ahead
damn
and
thing.
stop to Granny on your own. I'm gonna go where I know where I'm going.
Yeah, cool story, bro.
I'm
gonna go
heading
with
to.
Jasper
I've got a
I'm heading to
present
my
too.
parents.
I got
first there.
Are we going straight to your parents, or are we?
After
Meatloaf.
this, I intended to, yeah. Anyone who wants to join
Yeah.
me.
Meatloaf first.
I
and then
unfortunately
I mean-
have nothing on the top of my head to go try to purchase. So
I mean,
About seeing if get my bow upgraded.
unless there's
I think
so
that
like
would be too
I
much
think
money,
you
so-
guys could safely surmise that given how fast you were able to travel, unless this citadel can move much quicker than you've seen it move up to this point.
Wow.
I mean, we're talking days of difference to make this trek. So
They were still
I know they were
loading
still
up.
picking up soldiers because I was watching it still.
Right.
So then that
I mean, you
would have
don't-
been
you-
at least maybe a day.
I mean, you have no way of knowing what its top speed would be, but you know,
Mark, just so you know, I have 2 empty vials. I'm planning on dumping the refill into another thing, so that way I will have one in hand, and of course wait for this refill for superior healing potion.
sure,
So I wanted to let you.
I appreciate that. Okay. What's on our agenda?
Let's go visit Martha.
Let's go
Yep.
see how fat Martha got. I mean,
Is everybody going along to?
I am going to go with them to there to see them and all that stuff. But then shortly afterwards, that's when I will go and like check up and see Jasper and all of them.
We're gonna go to the Usan family
Usan!
abode.
It's probably the
Who's on
first
household?
easiest stop.
yeah.
Okay.
I would like to purchase healing potions at some point, but that can be after Mom
Okay.
and Pops.
So yeah, so you go to the Usan house. What do? Do you just walk in?
Hey, Mom, I'm home.
Do a knock.
Mama, Mama, I'm coming.
So yeah, so you knock, and you know, and from inside you hear, "Oh, just a minute," and it's clearly your mother's voice,
It's clearly Martha's voice.
and
It's Martha.
She learned so much.
so the door opens and you lay eyes on your mother, and your mom is, I mean, it's a moment of being absolutely stunned. She puts her hand over her mouth, and like almost immediately the tears start to well in her eyes, and then she
Open
reaches
my
and
arms
grabs
up for
you,
a hug. Yeah.
and then
Crack
and
the
then
smile.
the tears come, and she's just like, "My boy, how have you made
My
it back?"
baby
Hogan's got
Koga.
a few trails of tears going down too, because he realized what kind of danger we were all in.
She-
coming,
She's
and realized
just
how lucky he is to still be able to come back to his parents.
she knows enough. I mean, like, she's been concerned since the day you left, and she's been asking all the questions and trying to find out, and every single thing that she's heard has been bad. And she sort of, as this conversation, she sort of admits, like, she didn't think, she was very concerned she would never see you again.
I'm glad
So
I could finally make it home.
yeah, and so then after that moment passes, then she just is like enthusiastically getting a hug from everybody. Like she's not, she's just so she's just
Is this what a mom hug is like?
and
Is it? I don't
I
know.
just
My
take it
mom
in a
died.
My mom
Yeah.
didn't like me.
she,
My mom.
I like
her,
healthy
so-
yeah,
I was a baby.
you know, a few moments of that, and she says,
I know what a dad has.
"Oh, I'm sure you'd love to see your sweet baby, wouldn't you?"
Yes. Yep, the fat baby.
Starts pulling the shoes out of my
I do. Well, I must admit that I have some mildly concerning news.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'll let you see for yourself. So she,
puts the treats back in the pocket.
so she's like, she takes you out back.
Couldn't get through the door
She,
anymore.
she tripled in size.
Secretly a diet
She takes you out back, and
I was just gonna say that.
yeah. So you get back out there, and you see Martha, and Martha is blue.
Why is Martha blue?
Yeah.
Koga, do you
ate
have
the
younger
snozberries.
siblings?
Well,
Like-
listen.
Oh.
Listen.
Oh,
But not that young.
I was
Also
trying to mix some paint for the fence,
Oh,
and
And Martha was like, I'm gonna help.
Martha got a little too curious.
Martha was like, I'm gonna help.
Had a cat actually do this?
My dog would accidentally put her tail in paint
And so, very interestingly, the only part, as you get closer to her, the only part of her that's not blue is this little space on her underbelly somehow didn't get in it. And
Oh no!
everything else
The paint has spooked her.
got blue.
Martha
And
might
she-
be
and so-
unmovable, but
and
she
so
ain't
she's-
unpaintable.
So she said,
It's unblueable.
listen, I tried to wash it off of her, and
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. I think maybe you should try, because it didn't work very well for me.
As I just go,
Just holds Martha over.
yeah, I'm just prestidigitation, like,
It's on there. It doesn't come off.
Oh, stained.
This is silver
She's
paint.
now just a blue badger.
It
Start of a
Anti-prestidigitation.
It's a new
Silver paint.
subspecies.
I think I read tomato juice is really good to get that out.
It's not for skunks.
it gets like
Oh.
1% less blue,
It
and
goes-
then you can tell that Martha is not appreciative of prestidigitation.
Oh,
Why are you snapping at me? Trying to
She,
clean you.
she's gonna bite you again.
She's going from
I
sapphire to
have more tricks
pastel,
up my
and she's like not happy.
Poor
It's
Mark.
gonna just
Hey,
be a
at least
stripe.
There is, and then as you look at her some more, there's like a lot on her nose and like a down her mouth that's not blue. It's like she probably licked it off a little bit, like. So.
Oh,
Just in
yay!
colors now.
The mascot, right? Raise morale.
So.
Fight for the blue badger. Is that how they got mascots?
They'll save the city with,
Maybe.
you know, some sort of patriotism.
So notably, about
Oh.
maybe 20% of the fence is blue.
You see Martha prints all over the fence.
Like it's like that was how much paint was left after the incident.
That's a lot of pain.
Oh, no wonder
Is
why
she,
she's like
crusty,
completely.
or is it just like
The
stained
crustiness
down?
stage is over.
Oh,
She's just
Oh, she died.
The
She just
fur,
absorbed it.
dying.
the
yeah.
fur,
She
She
died
the fur
herself.
being blue is.
She's one with the blue.
She's
It's
blue.
it. I mean, I don't know how fast badger fur grows, but I guess we're
Gonna
in
find
that.
out.
Gotta let the winter coat come out so it can.
Tell everybody she's a frost badger. It'll be fine.
She has
I'm
a
just looking
frostbite.
this up for my own pleasure. You can keep going.
She has a frostbite.
Need
So-
some help painting the fence. Then.
Well, I have to get more paint first, but and it does take a little work to mix the color I want. So
Oh.
she's. But enough of that now. I'm sure that you're all famished. And she's like, "Well, if you don't mind, I'll go start making us some food."
Perhaps I can take us
I'm
all out. To,
helping.
So,
This is how I expect Lauren to be with
Ellie's
actual
in the
Ben's
kitchen
mom.
with like a
though.
book
I'm
on
coming.
badger hair growth.
See, I just bring the baked goods already. She just gets way too much food. That's real life Kogan's mom.
Oh,
There you
and I am
go.
going to look at you and point towards a trash can that we might have walked past or something like that. Fish cakes now. They are starting to reek.
Takes
oh
the
God,
one
you still have those.
out of Martha's mouth.
Are you trying to poison her?
Okay, Martha did try.
No one
to
else
You
on the
still
shelf
have
wanted
them?
fish cakes.
Yes,
She's
I
gonna try to be
have it.
Martha.
Still in
Fish
her
cake.
inventory.
Roll a con save.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Oh God.
This is why my bagel holding is over here.
This is a
She has a
DC
bigger
like
hook too
20
now.
at this point.
She's that bird, but yeah.
She's gonna.
No.
You can't put your hand
Yeah.
in there. It's gonna come out
Done.
more.
You-
For 1
you're-
minute.
If you
I'm
weren't
immune to
already, you
poison.
are well aware of the scent of these things.
Hey, get that out of the kitchen.
Kogan's
Have you
mom
not been
starts
wondering why I've been
eating.
snapping near my nose this whole time? Like, I didn't want that fish smell. I'm like,
She
no.
just
Like,
saw
you
the
open up
tears
that
from
pouch
seeing
and it's
Koga's
like-
mom.
All right. Let's race in.
Why is Jet just continuously snapping in front of his nose?
He's ready, getting ready for
Burning
I'll
That's
take it not to Kogan's
Incinerated.
parents' trash bin, but like out in the
Must
dumpster.
Fire!
Yeah, you're gonna need to get rid of that.
Not in the house.
That
You
pouch
didn't
is
get
a
that
goner.
smell
No, I
out.
was talking about tossing it up in there.
Yeah, a pouch is a goner.
You're
Pouch
not
has
getting that
growths.
smell out.
Ew.
It's a goner.
It is one
Ew.
pouch.
Just
Kids
walk down the
crawling.
crib.
Hey, Dreadnought.
Tell Anastasia is a D&D character insistent that she has little Ziploc bags.
And
Yeah. And she has little flags to mark everything.
I was just gonna say,
Anyway,
I care about the flags.
well, she lost some of the flags and she's very mad about it. Anyway,
Anastasia's
oh,
a
she
very
also
organized
has
person.
lotion.
To put on the scanner, gets the hose again.
So, all right, yeah.
help
So
with dinner.
it's gonna
She
take
doesn't
it's
have
gonna
a
take
puppet.
Kogan's mom and whoever's helping a while to get dinner or lunch or whatever made.
Yeah, what time of the day is it
So
at this point?
I mean, this is like noon,
Lunchtime.
so you can wait. You can go do something else if you want. It's kind of up to you guys.
After we're done eating, yeah, I would like to join you to visit the Vogler.
So yeah,
refugees.
Ellie, are you helping Kogan's
Yes.
mom? I mean, it becomes apparent within the first like few minutes of this preparation. I mean, like the very first thing that she does is go into the pantry and come out with like too many things. So this is gonna be
Okay, we need this, and
this is gonna be a robust
Lunch.
meal. that's
this.
about to happen.
I like to go to a top tier inn, pay to have a bath,
Yeah,
like the best bath they got.
yeah, you can do that.
Go for it.
Kogan's
What can I
also-
say?
for it,
I just fucking clean myself every fucking.
I mean, I'm sure they have that with them.
But I'm not gonna lie.
It's the
A bath
relaxation
does
of
sound
it.
Yeah,
nice.
it does
You
sound
know,
nice.
Blanche does Blanche, you know? Take your time off. Relax.
So, yeah, I mean, there is a nice place in town that is. I mean, this is Kalaman is not like a. I don't know. You wouldn't call this like the sort of city that is caring particularly a lot about the high society and those
Sure.
kinds of things.
It's not a metropolis.
Yeah, it's not that it doesn't have any of that. It's just not known for this. So, yeah, there is a nice inn in town that you can go to and you know, the you know, they're kind of like getting a look at this robust sized
I'll need a bigger
miniature.
tub than that.
Yeah. and so they kind of, and you know, there's this dwarven woman that's kind of gained the responsibility of take care of our guest. And she kind of is looking you up and down, and she is like, she kind of puts the eyes up and takes a minute to think about it, and she's like, you know, I think I got the exact right plan for you.
Just
So-
all the florally
Got a
soaps.
waterfall in the back.
I'm not paying for cold water.
So
Ooh.
this says, just give me a few minutes. So she runs off. That's probably. Comes back like, okay, come with me.
Right?
So she takes you not to a room, but she takes you outside. And you're like, at first you're like, wait a minute.
I thought this was a nice establishment.
But you realize almost right away that what this little area is it's sort of meant to be this private dining area for like probably
turning
their
it into
higher
patio.
class, yes, yeah. And and
you extra
all
nice.
of the like settings and stuff have been moved. And there's this, I mean, I don't know if you know for sure what it would normally be used for, but it's like this big basin. And she tells you, well, we normally use this when we want to get all of our linens cleaned.
Sure, make me feel special.
But we take good care of this. So and so then this Kender comes out and has a bucket and dumps a bucket in there and he scurries off, and then like a few seconds later there's this probably teenage girl comes, dumps a bucket in there, and she's like,
Just got a rotation.
yeah. And so what they're doing is they're taking buckets that they're heating up and in the kitchen, and they're putting it into this big. And so this thing is going to be big enough for you. And she, as this is happening, she's in like. She's giving you the indication that she knows who you are. Like, she keeps saying things like, that, the protectors, the heroes.
Heroes of Dogler, right.
And
Right, we have arrived back in town.
she pulls out this little. She's got this kind of nicely carved little box, and she opens it up, and before you can see it, you can smell it. It's got like aromatic soap in there, and she like pulls out a little knife and she carves off a piece, and then she goes over to the thing and she's got like a little cheese grater, and she starts grating the soap into the water. And as the buckets keep coming, it starts to bubble a little bit and foam a little bit. So this is going to be a beautiful, beautiful. And they don't charge you anything.
I will tip them exorbitantly and spend 16 steel just spreading it around between the attendants.
Yeah. Yeah. As you are preparing to, or whatever, like you're getting to the point that you're going to use this bath, then like the is trying to, like, okay, you don't come back. Like, she's trying to kind of this to the other. The girl is not so subtle about trying to leave whatever money you gave her.
You take that with you. You'll need it more than I do. And Kalaman's listen, between you and I, heroes, well, when we come back from an adventure, and I like, we've got the treasure to spare.
And she's kind of looking at you, and she says, "This stories of you are true. She picks it back up and scurries off, and then so now it's all set, and she kind of closes the door behind her, and then there's this one window, and you kind of see this curtain shut over it, and there's like this place is like it's not just fenced, it's like literally walled in.
Sure. Okay.
But it's still got like an awning over, but the wall is like 10 feet high. So you're by yourself out here.
Right, I'll have a bath.
Yeah, it's a glorious one. They leave you like 3 different, like a scrub brush, and then like a spongy thing, and then like this. It looks like it looks like some sort of linen, but it's got a little bit of roughness to it. So. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and it smells delightful.
So yeah, I'll come back in time for dinner after
Yeah.
my bath.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
2 hours.
You're a little bit astounded
A little
at the
bit
bathwater when you're done, but you're clean.
Bathwater ain't, but you are.
Okay. Anybody else?
Makes me want to take a bath in real life.
That sounds so
Yeah.
With
nice.
cheese grated, finally aroma.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't the same one they use in the kitchen.
No.
The cheese
Is
gonna
this
taste
while
like
food's
soup.
being prepped, or is this after?
What's that?
Is this while food's being prepped, or after?
You got. There's time.
Yeah,
This
I-
is gonna
Well-
take a little bit of time.
Yeah, we just did lunch. You've got the afternoon.
Well, we haven't even done.
No, I
lunch
haven't
yet.
even gotten there
No.
yet.
They're preparing
where-
food still.
Kogan's
Judgment's
mom
gonna
is
wait till
going
there's
off.
food, but
If
after
you
that,
would
It's
like
gonna
to
be a
go
robust
there.
lunch.
Yeah, you got like an hour and a half.
Your mother and Ellie are doing that. Would you like to accompany me then to?
Yeah, Mother, just a few more people need to say some words too. But I'll be back in a short period.
Carry on. Just don't get lost. You've spent enough time without my boy.
there goes my
I know my way. Be back before lunch is ready.
I'll probably head with them, but then
No,
probably split off.
to the refugees.
All right. So who's going where to do what?
I want to go to the refugees, but I want to go check up on Jasper and
I'm checking up on
the kids and all that stuff. And then of course also possibly run into after that if she's in the same area. My brain has drawn one hell of
Who are you talking about?
the lady.
Lady Becklin or the mayor?
Lady Becklin.
There you go.
And after that,
I'm just looking for the families of the Stone Knights. Just pay them a visit.
Okay. So, and what are you doing?
Just going with them to possibly even see if Lady Becklin or the mayor's doing all right, how everything's going.
So we're going 3 different places. Is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty much all of them are in the refugee area, correct?
walking
I don't
with
think
them
you
till
know.
deviating.
What's that?
She's walking with them till she deviates from last word.
So is the
Yes.
goal to try and go and find the refugees? Is that what I'm hearing
Yeah,
across
pretty
the board?
much. And then of course, because that's where I last remember where I want to go, where he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what we're doing, and you go, so you have to kind of go back outside one of the gates of the city, and on the way to doing that, the city is less busy with like market and trade type traffic than it has been in the past, and it is more busy with just whether it's soldiers moving around or just, you know, people moving equipment or carts or whatever. I mean, it just has a little different vibe than it had when you were here before. And so you get to the gates and you go out to where the refugee area was, and it's still there, but it is not like particularly busy. Like you don't see all that many people out within that camp. And so you run into you run into the Kender who had she had her own stand, and she made artwork out of fish bones. You run into her, and she remembers you guys. It's like, oh, well, it's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you're all well.
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, well, I took some of my wares into town, and it went surprisingly well for a week or so, but it has quieted down a great deal recently. People are focused on different things, I think.
I noticed that on my walk through town today.
Have many of you
Changes happening.
Indeed.
have many of you been able to move into the city at all? Or has it mostly been stuck to the camp out here?
Well, some of the citizens and some of the townsfolk, you know, they were, I think, quite inspired to do what they could to assist the city's forces, and the city has been willing to take all the help they can get. So many of the townsfolk have gone to do what they could to help the city's army. Well, not many of them I think are swinging swords, but they're doing what they can. I to be honest, it's been a little while. And she's like trying to count up days. I don't remember when the last time I saw the mayor was. It's been a while. I think she's in the city quite a bit. And so she remembers Granny Rockette. I mean, she hard not to know Granny if you're from around town. And she says, "Oh, your grandmother will be thrilled to see you." She points at the tent that she was in the last time that you were there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little more decorated now.
A little bit more established.
But yeah.
Granny
Oh,
Rockette's back at
that's where
Alliot
she usually
Herbalist.
is. And yeah. Why, were you looking for someone in particular?
Jasper.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's in town now.
He's in town now?
Yeah, I
Do
think
you
he
know
went and, well, yeah. I think there was some house that he went to. I haven't seen him in a while either.
What of Tarbin, Crowgrave, or any of the Larzik family? Do you know where they ended up?
I think that they went to assist the guild here in the city.
They moved into the city.
Well, I think they thought they could help, and anyone that wants to help with the city is being put to work, as I understand it. I'm not that useful.
I make things out of fishbone.
I think you're plenty useful. You told me exactly where I need to go.
Perhaps you can render them aid in making arrowheads.
Yeah, she's
What is
like.
what
She
is
has a
actually
dinosaur
on your
sticker.
pocket there?
It's a
It looks like
sticker.
a badger.
It's a sticker
Oh.
of a dinosaur.
It's
I don't
a
know.
dinosaur sticker. Okay.
I didn't put it on.
Have you seen Lady Beckler? Recently.
Come to think of it, I don't remember the last time I saw Lady Becklin.
She might be in the castle.
She might, yeah.
But maybe just.
She was in the hospital last time we left her.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she was up and moving around after that.
But for
I
how
just
long?
remember.
Not to go morbid dark, but hey.
I think her trail might be better pursued at the castle than here.
And Granny's just useful out here.
Mm.
Well, then I inquire with the guilds as to where they ended up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So nice to have seen all of you again.
It is a pleasure to be able to see you again as well.
Don't worry, Ellie is still enjoying her bone version of Martha, I think, or something.
So yeah. So I don't know where you want to head from here, but
Granny's crew.
okay.
I have so many plans.
So you come rolling up to Granny's tent, and there's a guy kind of sitting outside the tent, and this is like, he's kind of a middle-aged guy. You recognize him from being around town a little bit.
Is it a good recognize? Is it a bad recognize?
It's just a
Am I
recognize.
excited? Am I excited
You
to see
know
this
that this
person?
is a regular.
Oh, so happy. Okay. For the most part.
Granny Ricketts.
And he's like not focused on you guys.
Customer.
Yeah.
He's
Customer.
yeah, he's
just-
like,
Experiencing the world, man.
no, he's
Or the drugs.
he's pretty dialed in on like cleaning out this pipe that he's got. And this thing is like, people who like smoke a pipe, right? Like, it's a typical thing. But the pipe this guy's got is like, he's put some effort into the quality of this pipe. So he's cleaning it out, and he's not focused on any of you guys, but he's sitting there.
So as soon as Jezebel recognizes him, she greets him on. She wouldn't even remember the name. Let's be real. 'Cause she
Well,
described-
you would remember his name.
Tim?
Yeah. I mean, you don't
Sorry.
know what his name is, but a lot of people call him Batty Bill.
I see.
Oh, Batty Bill. So yeah, Jezebel greets him. Afternoon, Batty Bill. Super high, cheerful.
Wha- Hey, man.
Dude, got it. Have you seen
Wait,
Granny?
wait.
Hi.
How are you here?
Very
I walked
carefully.
here.
From like the desert, man?
Oh, had to get on a boat, Batty. Because we got on a boat, went over there, checked out the desert, came home.
Chat with the desert. I love how simplistic that was.
He's not gonna follow anything
No,
complicated.
that's great.
Well, you're.
Alive.
Well, Granny's. Well, I don't think she's in there, man.
Jezebel's demeanor completely changes. What?
Yeah, I don't.
What do you mean she's not in there? Where else should she? Is she out in her little?
Adventure.
What you call it? Her garden?
What? Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where she is. Yeah.
Granny comes
Do
around
you
the
know
corner.
where it is? She told me she started one. I just
Oh man.
never got to see it.
Man, she doesn't. Man, come on. She doesn't let anyone know where her
That's right.
where her plans, man, are. Like,
You're not wrong.
yeah.
I call them plants because that's what they are.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
know?
I mean, she told me to be here like today, and it's well, it's today, and I'm here.
I see you here today. So Granny would be proud, but she hasn't been.
But I
here,
think
has
she proud. No, she told me to wait here, and I think she's gonna be here again.
Jezebel's on face. She's just super patient. She's like, "Are you sure?" Kind of like talking to a toddler.
So then you hear from inside the tent. Bill, who are you talking to?
Jezebel
and you instantly recognize Granny's voice.
Jezebel squeals.
And
with
she's like,
excitement.
and Bill is like, wait, she's in there?
How long have you been sitting out here, Batty?
5 minutes, I guess.
Well, like,
In 3
well,
hours.
like, since today, I think.
Since early this
Whoa.
morning.
So yeah, so then, so Bill is like, wait, did she yelled at me? Did she? I'm talking to what's your name?
Jezebel.
Oh, I'm talking to
Jezebel.
Jebberbell.
Jezebel.
Jellicle?
bro, man.
Jezebel.
And Granny, you hear like a little, like, what you think is probably like pots or something. You don't know, like clanking or drop, and then like
Something.
and then
There's
and
a
then
frenzy.
she comes popping out of the tent and she's like, oh my gosh, oh yeah, and she
Jezebel
like,
screeches in return and doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, she puts a cactus down, and then does.
yeah, and
The
she
cactus back.
yeah,
Here, Bill, hold
and
this.
you get a nice.
Betty Bill,
Hug
hold
with-
this.
I mean, Granny's been working, so like.
She got
Do I get like a content high just from being this close?
Roll a con save.
Oh fuck. Ooh, nat 20. It's a 22.
You're
Well, I don't know. That's a pretty good roll. You tell me what you want to have happen.
Yeah. She mistakes it for her own excitement.
Yeah.
Cause Granny's okay. Cause
Yeah.
Batty started to freak her out a bit. What do you mean she hasn't been here all day? That's not like Granny.
And so,
But yeah,
so,
a little bit.
So yeah, you
This is
have.
a potent batch Granny made. Josie doesn't have the tolerance for
So
it.
you have a nice hug and a nice, you
Real
know.
nice.
I mean, Granny Granny's not like the crying type. You know, she's more like just can't get the glow off of her face, you know, like she's just very
Hi.
very pleased, you know, that to see you. And so that takes her like a minute. It's like she's kind of taking it in and she's not really saying things. And then there's this moment of realization that hits her. And she's like, I can't believe you're okay. This is such great news. And she goes and you kind of think she's going in for another hug. You know, like she's So do you
Oh yeah, arms wide open.
and as she does it, you feel her kind of patting you down a little bit.
You're wearing wire.
And she's like
A little confused.
she's like,
Grab the
I
plants,
don't work for those nights.
I'm just seeing if you got any, you know, did you find anything good out there?
Oh, Granny, you're gonna love what I found.
As you know,
As I
apparently
turn to
noticed
the bags I've been
cactus on her
dragging.
back.
No, I
No,
set that
he-
down
she
to
said
go with
the
the other
cactus
bags
out.
I was carrying.
And so
I have a stupid amount of stuff.
and
rocks
so then she's
plants.
like, well, why don't you just go in there?
Batty, you should be useful. Help me carry some of this.
Man.
What?
You trust him?
I give him a bag to carry and then I come sit back out and wait for Granny.
Yeah, man. All right. And he starts walking down the street
Okay,
With
that
the
didn't
bag.
work.
with the
Yeah,
bag.
I'm gonna go back, get back. Alright, that didn't work. Have fun, Batty.
Oh, what? Oh, you want me to take it in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why don't you take it?
Granny, can I, Granny, is it okay? And Granny's like, you stay out there, Bill.
Granny's
You know what
done
you
with
did.
Bill's shit.
So,
Yeah, I'll take my bags back. I was like trying to
Yeah.
be lazy for the last stretch.
and she kind of gives Bill this like, I don't know. It's probably the size of like a piece of like a slice of bread maybe, and it's this like folded up cloth, and I mean this is not some nice piece of cloth. Like this is a
Some
thing that's been
rag.
used to have something in it or on it. And she's like, this is what you're looking for, Bill, okay? So we're
Go.
good now. And he's like, oh, we're good now, Granny. And he just, so he kind of meanders off. And she's like, okay, now that he's gone.
Yeah, I bring like all of my plants and
Yeah.
bags of rocks. And
How did you make it out there? I mean, that place is, I mean, I'm really happy to see you. I didn't know if you would make it back.
Auntie Blanchett was taking care of me. She's doing good.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad.
And everybody in the party is like everybody that is like family. It's great. And they helped me find some of these. Pulls out the gray rock with a little bit of a, what sounded like a little bit of a sheen.
So she sees that and she just like
The angel seed.
she's
Skittle, that was a
she like pokes her head back out the tent and then looks and then comes back and she's like,
And by then she's pulled out the blue tinted stone.
did anybody
Oh,
else
I know.
try to go in the tent or is
Oh
everybody-
no, I could literally
moved on
smell
to look
the
for
one
our,
one sniff of
yeah,
it, and I'm like,
the people
oh
we were
hell
originally
no.
looking for.
So
Yep.
so
I could smell that a mile away, and I'm like,
You ever tried
no.
this? I call it cataclysmic fire.
Yeah, no, Adra knows what
Burn,
Granny
burn,
does,
burn.
so Granny.
so yeah, I mean
Adra has
like
gotten some of
inside
these
the
plants for
inside the
Granny, and
tent
it's like,
like yeah, I mean
no.
like
It smells
I mean,
like home.
you've been in Granny's
Home with
house
a magical
before.
sword
Like
now hanging up on the wall.
Granny
Oh,
in her time
Granny
has
should
gotten
sink herself.
very good at compartmentalizing her space, and she just can't do that in this tent. You know, it's just not enough room. So she's been at work, right? Well, you like pull out all of these things,
Evan looks like a cat over
Rhino
there playing
with
with his
the thumbs
dice.
and she is just
Desert
like,
oyster, pokey.
she keeps looking at the stuff and looking at you, and she's like, she starts like kind of rifling through different containers or, you know, things that she would, whatever she would store something in. And she's like, well, that's not nearly, how did you get all this? And
Teamwork makes the dream work, Granny.
so I'm gonna make 50 times what I make in a year with this.
Oh, and she pulls out the yellow, pink, and blue plant. Auntie Blanche was not happy to see this one because it's Skittles. She said you guys had a wild time. Is that the story you told me about her throwing up?
That one time at band camp?
Boy.
Look,
And Jezebel's just excited. She's just kind of chattering away nonstop. Someone family member who likes her.
we're
Skittles.
All I can think of is that character from Left 4 Dead 2.
I'm
He
not
goes
gonna
on
have
and
to
on about the story, and they're like,
work
hey,
anymore after I
not
sell
right now.
this stuff.
That's good, isn't it? Then it's just for fun.
I'm gonna move out into the country.
Might wanna move
me
into
a
the-
lot of peaches.
might wanna move
Are
into
you
the
two
city
like Breaking
first.
Bad right now? I haven't seen Breaking Bad, so
Except for Jezebel, unlike Jesse, is just straight up a happy-go-lucky idiot.
Granny is the one who knocks.
and Jess is
And doesn't actually do drugs where Jesse does.
yo, Granny.
Say her name.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Isn't it pretty? And I don't know what that is, but I named it Pokey.
that's a great name. That's a great name for it.
Oh, Jessica.
Wow.
Wasn't there something about the actual, like, getting pricked by that thing? I had to do it constantly.
Yes, you did. Yes, there was.
Is that dangerous? I really like Pokey. But I don't think I'm going to take him with me again.
Yeah, just probably leave it here.
He's pokey.
Yeah, we need to treat that one a little different.
Isn't that a bad thing?
No.
Okay.
No. The immediate no.
And
She-
she
Granny-
believes it. Okay.
Granny is a little.
Flabbergasted.
I mean, yeah, she is in shell. She is
Shell
like
shocked?
everything. Like
Granny is straight up shook.
like Jezebel coming home
yes.
with all this stuff.
Trying to pat me down.
Like
the
those
goods
two
in the
things
bed.
combined are like
Oh, did-
what?
Did Granny just kind of fry your...
She's
Her
been
circuit's
dealing
a
with
little-
Bill all morning too. Like,
You stay out there, Bill. Okay.
Stay up
I'm
there,
like
little.
sitting out here waiting. He gets me fine. That's nice.
yeah, you guys, you're in there for like 10 minutes going over these plants and minerals and everything that you got, and then like outside you hear. Was I supposed to? I'm here. And Granny's like, no, you were supposed to go home. Oh yeah.
I can't
yeah,
wait
yeah.
until Granny gets so mad at him that she chases him with a broom.
So he.
Lay on hands. Clear it up a bit.
So it's just a Joyce reading going like, what's this thing?
Look,
And the other little mini cactus that looks orange.
yeah.
That doesn't
I'm
really
gonna
scare.
I'm gonna have some work to do. Is all I'm saying. Okay. I'm gonna have some work to do. It's gonna take a while. But it's
We
gonna be
actually
it's
had
gonna be
3
worth
of
it.
those blue thunders. No, 9.
I'm gonna
There's a lot.
I'm gonna have to make a trip into town and well I got a person I need to talk to.
She might need to move into town.
But
Uptown.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, if you want, with your are all your friends back too?
Yeah. Couple of them wandering around, I think. Jet's looking for Jasper. He's now wearing a he's wearing a white robe. He did like the whoosh thing. I turned into a giant eagle. She's just word vomiting
Was
everything.
this before or after the Skittles?
So she kind of
Skittles
absorbs
is
all of
untouched.
that, and then she's like, "Oh, hey, listen.
It worked. I asked Nick.
Listen. I'm so excited to see you, and I'm so happy that your friends are back. Just a sec." So she like goes and she opens up this trunk, and like as she opens it up, it's like, you know, it's like a kit. It like opens and then like and she reaches into the bottom and she pulls out this kind of tall like corked bottle, and it's like the bottle is opaque, you know, but you can tell that there's a liquid in there, and she's like, I mean, it's great. I think you guys should probably celebrate, right?
Yeah.
This'll
I know the Woosons were like in the process
This
of
is-
making dinner.
this
and
is
food.
this is gonna make for a great party. And she like hands you the bottle.
Ooh, parties are good. We should celebrate.
Yeah. So if you want, you can write down party bottle.
With mysterious liquid in it.
Start erasing some of these other plants and rocks that you've turned into ground.
Given.
Do you just have a list of drugs? Like,
Randomly, yeah. Well, I was given names and brief descriptions.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't
Yeah.
really
drugs,
do
Party
Don't be like
bottle.
Bill.
Don't be like Bill.
No way, Mia.
Don't be like Fatty Bill.
Okay.
But yeah, she spirals into like cutscene goes in. Like yeah, I jumped out a tower window and I wild drifted. I almost went splat and I turned into a giant eagle. It was great. You'd be proud of me.
I am proud of you.
and you're like,
Always.
"Aw."
Always.
But I didn't die.
That's. I mean.
I did what you told me.
Wait,
Happy
what did I tell
happy
you?
thoughts. Happy
Trust
thoughts.
in nature. Ask for help.
Well, that was really smart. How did I think of that?
Very carefully.
Any more Granny Rockette shenanigans we want to do?
That's the main part. Like, oh, and give her the salt and pepper shakers shaped like dragons.
Yes.
Wow.
You are
Blanche said
spoiled.
you'd like these. They're fancy.
Yeah, she's kind of holding him, and then she like, and she's kind of, you know, like, oh, this is really great, you know, and then she like takes him over by the fire, and she's holding him up against the fire, like to make sure that you can't see through it. Yeah, she's like, these are perfect.
Oh boy.
She is an herbalist.
If I remember correctly, they also had grinders on the bottom.
Uh-huh. They did. They're
Oh.
fancy.
Oh,
Okay. Who are we going to next?
That's the Rockettes' excitement.
The Rockettes' excitement. Who are we going to next?
Party
You weren't giving
bottle.
anyone else out.
Were all three of you there, or what were you doing?
I think we were heading
when,
back.
when she went off to see, like, actually go to where Grandma was, me and him decided to go into town to try to find the people that we were looking for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were
The people-
looking for
It was
the mayor and
It was the mayor, and then she was like, "I need some alone time,
Okay.
going out
Okay.
for a moment."
So you're just
There's
going
a
out
lot.
on your own?
Adra's a little, well, not too far away, but not like
Out of line of sight of the city
yeah.
walls. Or
Kind of before she left for the Northern Waste, when she saw the birds with her parents. She's a little stressed out after almost falling to her death. She hasn't
Wow.
decompressed, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you know who to talk to if you need.
Party bottle.
No.
So,
It's more emotional, like she needs to be alone type thing. She doesn't want to have other
We do
people
not advise the
see
use
that.
of party bottle to decompress.
so Jet, you're gonna go try to find Jasper.
Yes.
Like, these two probably didn't know this.
Okay, yeah, if you go into town and you ask around a little bit, you kind of figure out the house that was being talked about, and so as you go in the direction of that house, when you get there, there's like a sign outside of the house, and this is clearly just Kalaman's version of an orphanage. And but this is more like Jasper has never had such a thing at his house. Like his orphanage was much more unofficial.
Yeah.
This thing is
Legit.
significantly more like that's what they do. And so you want to go inside and try to find him?
I do.
Okay. So you go in there and you see there are young people of kind of a number of different ages, but the more, as you see like 10, 12, whatever, different kids, there's none that are over maybe like 13 or 14 years old in there. And so then, maybe you ask around a little, and so then Jasper comes, he was in another room, and he comes and he sees you and he says, "Oh, Jet, my boy, how are you?"
I go and give him a hug.
Oh, so
And
I heard that you went. Oh, people talked like maybe you wouldn't come back, and yet here you are.
I almost didn't. But let's start from the beginning. I ran into an actual mage of high society there,
Will you
and they gave me my test.
well, you're still alive.
Yes, I passed. Not in the usual red, I guess, but
It still
That's
suits
fine.
you.
we defeated a great threat out there.
Dragon Slayer.
Yeah,
Well, there could
I
only have
actually,
been great
I actually
threats.
took out a dragon. I did the final blow on a dragon. A blue one. And I took his crown. And I pull it out of my bag of holding. Like, I took out his crown.
A what? A what now?
A blue dragon.
He's gonna pat your head all funny.
We didn't
Yes,
really
they're
disclose
real
the
again.
They're real again.
He's looking at you like
They've always
he's
been
trying to
real.
decide if you're being serious or not.
It's like
A
the kid's
dragon?
actually telling the truth to his
A
parents, and they
full
still
bona
don't believe
fide
him.
dragon.
I never did get that far with Granny.
But there are no dragons.
You were like, I'm an eagle.
I've seen
Eagle,
two
crocodile.
since the beginning of this adventure up in the wastes.
Oh no.
I'm not talking about that one.
Oh.
Two,
I
a
was
black
like-
and a blue.
Dragon eggs count?
Black
Like,
one we
the
ran from,
bronze
blue one
you
we
know
killed.
nothing about.
The dragon egg doesn't count.
So,
Yes.
so you're saying that the dragon army has
Look at all the
actual
funny
dragons?
Yes.
They had one, for
I
sure.
didn't hear about the dragon armor
Two
either.
tech.
No one is.
The black one I don't think was actually with them. I think it's just like, this is my area. You all just kind of rent here.
And so he gets like
Because there's quite a few undead.
Flabbergasted.
noticeably pale at like at the notion that dragons are real and that they're working with the dragon army. And he just is like, oh no.
But we did defeat the one that was actually like a high-ranking person of the group.
Well, does the soldier
Yep,
the marshal know this?
we went there first and we told them all the information. We did the responsible thing. We talked to them first.
Yes, Dad. We went to the marshal.
No,
What do you
Beth,
think
you're
I
the
am, an
only one who knows
idiot?
about it. What are you gonna do?
Accomplice.
But after that fight, something went down and I almost didn't make it back out.
You went down.
Tell that daddy went down.
I did make sure to at least for sure save one person's life, but then they ended up and luckily saved mine too.
I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you have survived, and I'm glad to see. I mean, this. He's just like kind of speechless at at everything that he's hearing and all of the stories, and then
Give
he.
him all the heavy business.
When he finally like recollects himself enough, he says, "Jet, I have brought 3 of our own to help the army. They're just kids. I mean, they're older kids, but I didn't know that this is what they were facing." And he's just like, he's going through a moment of, like he had really wanted to help, and he had some, like these kids were eager to help, and now he's like struggling with the realization that this is worse than he thought. I mean, he knew it was bad, but he didn't know it was this bad. And now he's like, it's almost like you're watching him realize that what he thought was a good thing, now he's starting to second guess himself.
Well, if it makes you feel slightly better, we do have good gods on our side. You remember Kogan, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I think you already know about this information, him being a bona fide paladin of the gods. Or at least the good ones.
Yeah.
And he was bestowed upon him a mighty divine gift of a Dragonlance.
Oh. A what now?
A lance / pike that is really good against fighting dragons.
I mean, I've heard the stories. I mean, I told some of them to you in your youth.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Papa, I've seen
bona fide one.
Papa, they're
Straight
real.
out of the books. Straight out of the stories.
What?
But
Man, you're gonna have to take him to Grenier and Kent to feel better.
He might need a swig of that party bottle.
Yeah, I mean, so as this conversation progresses, he just continues to have moments of like
Does
just
not sound
being
huge.
overwhelmed. Like the more you talk to him, the more you get the impression that he's been so focused on doing what he has always done, which is to be looking out for the kids and to be trying to protect them and give them what he could give them. I mean, so the choices that he's made, it's sort of like he's this whole time he's been thinking like, well, you know, this is what these kids want to do, so I'm just trying to help them on their way, and then the realization that it's more dangerous than he thought, and then all of these things that he's hearing, it's almost like he's just been a little oblivious to it as it's been unfolding, and now it's hitting him like a ton of bricks. So
Pretty much for Jet, he's so relieved to be back home, pretty much, because Jasper has been his true father figure throughout his whole life. And he almost died out there, and being back home with his dad is just...
yeah.
So he's word vomiting out, but right now he's actually just ecstatic to be home.
He's doing what
Well,
Jezebel
he,
did
I mean,
with
he,
all
and
information,
he's
except
thrilled
he's
to
happy.
see you, and he is. So anyway,
Yeah.
you guys can continue to converse and have your things. Okay, so we'll switch to
You're doing what
Kogan.
Jezebel did, but heavy.
Kogan, you are going to the Stonemason Guild. You're looking for your friends.
Yeah.
She'll get there.
Yeah. So, yeah. And are you looking for specifically someone, or because I think you had what, 2
Yeah.
or 3?
Tarbin Crowgrave was one of from the guild
Yeah,
who
you
survived,
almost became
Yeah.
and then the Starks,
Just-
flat on the floor.
Rocket
Um,
pancake.
Letho,
Yeah.
died,
There too.
Yeah.
but his family was still.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
had
you're
met
like,
them at the shrine
All of it.
before we left.
Okay.
I don't know where they ended up.
Bad news first. And
So
Jezebel's
yeah,
like,
so your
"I got the
surviving
thing."
friend when you get there. So this place,
Look, Granny,
is
I'm so
like-
confident.
I mean, like they have a robust work area, and like this is not some small time thing. I mean, they have, like, as you get there, there's probably a half dozen people that are like running around. Some of them are like moving things on or like on or off carts, and all kinds of stuff is going on. And so you see your friend, and she's, or he's, right?
If it's Crowgrave, it's gonna be.
Yeah, he. You see him, and he's like lugging these
Wait, which
big.
one did you
He's
get?
like hauling these big chains that
Ooh, you
got
this.
used to like
Pretty.
keep stones on this cart,
Just like this
and
are light.
Yeah. I
And
have
he
one
sees you,
but
and
it's in
he
James's car right now, but
just
this
does
is
a double take, like,
Friend, it's been a while.
Speak friend and enter.
you're alive. They said the rumor was that you had gone into the wastes.
That rumor is true. Despite the worst the wastes could throw at us, we survived. Only just made it back, not but a few hours ago.
Well, that's unbelievable. Well, I mean, we've been working so tremendously hard here to help fortify the city. Well, this is terrific. Maybe perhaps you can help us.
He's like, get to work, Kogan.
Oh, I'm
Since
sure
you're
there's plenty
back.
of work ahead of me. But it's good to see that you found your place in the city. Are you living in the city now, or?
Yeah, the guild has a place for some of us to stay. Some of the senior members have their own abodes. We just stay in. The kind of an apartment. I literally have a bunk bed.
That's
But
good.
we have a place to stay, and we're doing the good work that the city needs.
That's good to hear.
I mean, normally our work is so much slower. This is a very different time indeed.
Ask him if he can put a roof over Kalaman.
Let's work on a roof.
Can you make a dome?
Ah. Seems there's still a fair bit of danger on the horizon.
Well, if the rumors are true, I mean, the dragon army is, well,
Thanks, Jessica.
I don't know who I want to
For
listen
the
to.
confidence.
There are some who say that the dragon army arrival
She's
just
is
Well.
imminent. There are some who say that they don't really care about Kalaman. I gotta say that the rumors that we heard about you and your friends, that Bacchus is a real piece of crap, isn't he?
Yes,
The ones that from Vogler know.
very much so.
Well, I assure you, I told everyone here that those were lies.
It's good to know. Good to know I still have friends in this world.
I got friends still here.
Have you-
Thank God.
Have you spoke at all with the Starks? At all? Have they? Do you know if they have also made their way into the city?
Yeah, they are around. They, I think, are. I only have been working with the guild here, but I think they have been helping with some of the things that the mayor has been doing for the city.
And they have found a place in the city to stay as well. Do you know?
Oh, I hope so. If not, well, the camp outside is not where people would want to be for long, unless you're Granny. But
Unless you're granny.
it's a lot of us have found places in the city, and I have to believe that if they're helping the mayor, that they must have some place to be. The mayor, I think, has been received relatively well here in town.
Have you heard of any plans to bring the rest of Hogler in?
I don't know, but I've heard a fair number, including us, have been trying to do work to help the army. I mean, I think the urgency, whether I don't know what to believe, but I think that there is an urgency to try and fortify and protect the city, and it's kind of all hands on deck, if you will. Everyone that can help has tried to, in some way. I mean, you know that we're not like you. we're not warriors.
No, but yours did have a good head on your shoulders. There is danger coming, and soon.
Well,
I don't know.
I can't say that I didn't fear it.
Do you have much connection back with those in the camp outside?
Oh, I certainly can.
I'm gonna pull out a bag of, like a pouch of 50 steel pieces. It's not much, but it's what I can spare right now. There is danger coming to Kalaman, and soon. Could you help some of those families out there? Those who are least able to find places amongst the city. Use this money. You've always been good with counting coins. You'll know how to put it best to use. I think you can find them places within the city, at least for the next week. Get them in.
I will do everything that I can for them, and this will certainly make that a possible thing to do. In fact, I will see it done.
Thank you so much.
So write down an inspiration for you.
One inspiration.
Yes.
I'll do half
No. That was me and my friend getting that done. If you have people you wish to do it with, you should go seek them out. But
I'm
This
hanging
was-
out with a badger.
And your mother.
yes.
I'm good.
Oh, I thought you were writing down half of his inspiration.
Yeah. Now every time he gets an inspiration, Lauren, he only gets half because Lauren gets the other half.
So so if I understand right, you
That's
are
what happens when they get married.
you're outside the walls. You walked off into some trees.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll perception.
You're on the random encounter table.
Perception. Very perceptive. 18.
Okay. As you're kind of getting ready to, you've spent your time and you're getting ready to head back, and you kind of decide, I'm going to take a little bit of a little detour on my way back, and you get out to where you can see a little different part of the shoreline away from the docks and stuff. And you kind of it's not a very obvious spot, but you see this male Kender. And he's talking to a person that has not beached their boat, but is right by the shoreline, and they've got this they're wearing like a traveling cloak or whatever, and but they kind of have their back to you a little bit, and as the person turns, it's not super clear to you, but you think that you catch just a glimpse of the Dragon Army's symbol of Takesis underneath the cloak. The boat shoves off, and this Kender kind of slinks away into the forest.
He looks sticky.
And this is a guy who's like, this guy is wearing like, this is not some traveler. Like, this is a dude that like, walks around the city, and
He's out there in his polo shirt and jeans.
Right.
Wait, the Kender had the emblem?
yeah, no.
No,
The guy in the
he
boat
was
had
talking
it.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have this like, you can't place it. You don't know why.
I feel
You
like
just
I
have
know.
this like tiny little feeling that you've seen this Kender somewhere. You just don't know where. You can't figure out where.
That's what I was thinking. It was like familiar. But
Not really.
not
It's
entirely.
very,
It's like a
very,
brief,
very
like,
vague. You're just like,
I'm sure.
Is
Ellie
it- is
here,
it-
she has
For
spider
the
sense
rest of
tingling.
the chat, I don't know if you want this to be above the table.
if you're above the table,
Oh, above
you
the
know
table.
this guy.
I actually above the table. I actually know this guy.
Yes,
Adra
I think
doesn't. but-
Adra did see him briefly, but
Yes.
possibly was like drunk at the time.
Yeah.
Because we were at the
Yeah, because we
tavern
were at the
when
thing.
we met him.
I know that. But when I made the comment, it's me personally knowing, but it's the way he was acting was like, oh, he looks sticky, is what Adra's thinking too.
So
and so that's above the table though.
So anyway. So yeah, you can head back. Everybody can regather if they wish. You can have this glorious meal at the Kogan Usan, Kogan's mom family
Casa de
table.
Kogan. Casa
There will be leftovers,
It's not dwarven.
is all I'm saying.
If there's any leftovers.
and you will all be quite well fed and have fellowship and merriment. And
mysterious bottle.
are you gonna pop the bottle?
Yeah.
All right.
Toast.
Jet knows all too well not to touch this. He'll play
Yeah.
along.
Would you
toast.
know?
All right, everyone, say
A toast to
after me.
family.
I'm not saying where I got it from.
Anything that comes from you, I know not to take.
I
I
was
wasn't
like,
sure.
I was like,
Well,
We all
whoever's
have
making a
running
toast,
around.
make your toast.
Victorious war,
Victorious War.
oceans of gore,
Oceans of gore.
treasure galore,
Treasure
galore.
beauty ashore.
Beauty ashore.
Hey, and blue dragons no more.
All right.
There's nothing in this.
And that is where we will end this week.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back next week.
well, next week's Thanksgiving.
No,
Oh wait, no, it's
No,
not.
No, it's
No,
that's
the
two
week
weeks.
after. Sorry, my bad. I'm